Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Mythlok with your host Nitin Nair. Our listeners are familiar with my fascination for South American mythology or Mesoamerican mythology, which is the correct term to be used nowadays. And one of the main civilizations that was served as a precursor or as a trendsetter for all the other civilizations that came afterwards in the region were the Olmecs. The Olmecs are synonymous with these huge carved stone heads that were found in lots of parts of Central and Southern America. These heads were carved into single blocks of stone, each weighing at least 2 tons, and were found littered all across the rainforest and the terrain in general. Some of them have made their way into many museums, while many of them are still located where they were actually found. It is rumored that these heads were either tributes to fallen soldiers or heroes from the culture, or as a tribute to the gods who created them and gave them the necessary required tools and the knowledge for them to sustain their lives. The Olmecs had a slightly different pantheon or a cosmology to their whole belief system, because it was governed by a few gods who were responsible for the creation, the sustenance, and eventually the destruction of the whole civilization, much similar to the Trinity that is known in Indian mythology. Now, the Olmecs did not have specific names, or even if they did, we do not have information on what these gods were actually called, because the Olmecs do not have a system of written history, and everything that we determine has been from cave paintings and carvings and researches that have been conducted with the very limited amount of information that we have had access to over all these years of excavations and archaeological research in the region. One such god, which is considered to be one of the main gods and had a huge role to play in the creation of the earth, according to the Olmec beliefs, was the Olmec Dragon. The Olmec Dragon is a depiction of a crocodile-like creature with human features. It is also said to have additional features that indicate an eagle or a jaguar. Once again, these are animals that are intrinsic to the environment of the area and are found as native inhabitants of the local geography. It has been said to have inspired Olmec cave paintings, as the mouth of the Olmec Dragon was a representative of a cave opening. The Olmec civilization considered the Olmec Dragon to be one of its primary gods and believed that the lives of people on earth depended on him being happy. It is one of the 8 androgynous gods of the Olmecs who are known today. The Olmec Dragon had a forked tongue and a bulging nose, which was quite prominent in many of the carvings that were found. It also has pointed eyes with flaming eyebrows and a hollow head. The animal is usually depicted with prominent tusks resembling the letter U. The Olmec Dragon was believed to have been a patron god of the elite, who were also responsible for earth, water, fire, and agricultural fertility. The Olmec Dragon was a creature that represented the earth, or at least its plane upon which humans lived. There is the concept that the dragon was the base on which everything was built, and the dragon was responsible for the upkeep and the well-being of the people. There has also been attribution of volcanoes and the flaming lava that it spewed as the fire that came from the dragon's mouth. Cave openings were considered to be entrances into the pantheon and were regarded to be sacred among the Olmecs. Like I mentioned, there are no written accounts of the Olmec, who did not have a system of writing, and most of the mythology and pantheon was passed down orally. Once again, this was lost when the civilization mysteriously vanished, just like the other civilizations in South America, like the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas. With a lack of a surviving record, most of what we understand today is what researchers can gather from sculptures, paintings, and other artistic depictions available across the former empire. The Olmec Dragon was a predecessor of many Aztec deities, including the likes of Cipatli, Huachacol, and Quetzalcoatl, and also the Mayan god Itzamna. These gods have similar responsibilities in each of their pantheons, which included creation of the earth and passing down of knowledge to the people. The famous carved heads of the Olmecs were also considered to be a tribute to the Olmec Dragon in ways, and many of them are claimed to be human depictions of what the dragon might have looked like, along with the other 8 androgynous gods, whom we will explore in more detail as we go along. This was a very short episode, mainly because it is a very limited account in terms of information and knowledge that we have today, but something that cannot be ignored because it is a very important part of the Olmec culture and its civilization, and more importantly, its belief systems, mythology, and the characters which form the basis of what the Olmec civilization based their whole life. Thank you very much for tuning in to Mythlok. This is your host Nitin Nair signing off, reminding you once again that Mythlok is the home of mythology.